大家好，我是Whitney老师。今天我们来唱蜘蛛的歌。蜘蛛的歌的歌是唱歌啦啦啦啦啦。对了，蜘蛛是什么？蜘蛛是什么？你知道？这是蜘蛛，蜘蛛，蜘蛛是。这是蜘蛛，蜘蛛是很可爱。对了，你喜欢蜘蛛还是不喜欢？我不喜欢蜘蛛。蜘蛛有几条腿？几条腿？我们有两条腿，两条腿。蜘蛛有，一起来，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8，八条腿，蜘蛛有8条腿。好了，这是蜘蛛是什么样子？什么样子？是黑色？不对，蜘蛛的眼睛是黑色，不对，好。蜘蛛是红色？不对，这是红色，好。蜘蛛是什么样子？你知道？蜘蛛是蓝色哦，蓝色。我们来唱，你们可以唱还是听都没事。好，看看。一只小蜘蛛爬上了水管。雨下来把蜘蛛掉消除，太阳出来把雨在干了河，这只小蜘蛛在爬上水管。太好了，蜘蛛的歌，小蜘蛛的歌，好，很小，好，看看。怎么说 spider？ 蜘蛛，对了，太好了。好吧，蜘蛛爬上是什么 ？To climb， 爬下不对 ，it doesn't climb down，climbs up， 爬上。好，太好了。爬上水管，这是 water pipe， 水管，太好了。好，这是 rain， 怎么说 rain？ 你知道？下雨，对了。可是我们唱个雨下 ，switch it. We want to emphasize that the rain's falling on the 蜘蛛, not just rain, but rain fall. So, 我们唱个雨下，蜘蛛掉是 drop to fall, drop. 掉xiàochú是eliminate or they're gone. 可是我们知道 we know the spider comes back. 对了，好，掉xiàochú，太好了。好吧，哦，这是怎么说 sun？ 说太阳 ，sun 是太阳，太好了，好吧，雨在干了河，这是雨是 rain， 在干了河是 it dries up， 太好了，这只小蜘蛛 ，this little spider， 在爬上水管，太好了，爬上 climb up， 水管 water pipe， 太棒了，我们来唱，你们可以看看都没事，好，我唱很慢，好。一只小蜘蛛爬上了水管，雨下来把蜘蛛掉消除。太阳出来把雨晒干了河，这只小蜘蛛在爬上水管。 太好了！现在我们看看，我们教便利贴。便利贴是什么？你知道还是不知道？这是便利贴，这是 post-it 还是 sticky note？ 便利贴，我们教到便利贴，然后我们抓住便利贴，抓住，好吧？好，我们看看，你们看看哦，这是蜘蛛啊，抓住，好。看，太好了。便利贴有一个四号，一个四，同蜘蛛的歌，一个四。我们看看水，蜘，好，太好了。看，爬，上了，看，管，太好了。我们有第一次的蜘蛛的歌，我们把它们整理好，这是整理好一只小，这是整理好，太好了。可是小一只不对，整理不对，好，不好，好吧。OK， 我们记得 remember 一只小蜘蛛，这是蜘蛛，不对，这是蜘蛛，一只小蜘蛛爬上了水，这是水管。好，太好了，很容易还是很难？ Is it easy or hard？ 很难，对了，好，太好了，太棒了，好。这是蜘蛛的歌，一只小蜘蛛，可是我们有两只小蜘蛛，好，我们1、2、3、4，好，2。可是 there's a grammar rule. We use R when we are giving our phone number, or we're saying the first or the second of something. So 第二个 second, or if we are saying the dates or the time, if we're counting, those are sometimes we use R. But there's another way to say two, and we use this pretty often. 2, we use 2. We use that when we're talking about two of something or both. Okay, so maybe if there's something you can hold in your hand, if you can hold it, then you probably need to use 2. 这是 grammar rule. We'll talk about more later. 现在我们写。你喜欢什么样子？你喜欢绿色，还是粉红色，还是蓝色，还是棕色？橙色，喜欢橙色，太好了，好。我们有橙色还是蓝色？好吧，看看我，这是拼音。蜘蛛是什么？太好了 ，spider， 这是蜘蛛 spider， 太好了，好 ，OK， 所以 spider 蜘蛛是很难。我们写蜘蛛 spider. But one thing first, when we write our Chinese characters, we always write them from top to bottom. We start at the top, we go to the bottom, and we go from left, start on the left, and go to the right. Okay? Just like when we write our English letters. So say, do we write our B's like this? Well, not really. Maybe some do, but most of us do not. And it's kind of sloppy, right? It's not very neat. But if we write it the correct way, or you know what I mean, correct way, we go like that, right? It's more neat. So that's one reason we write our characters in a certain direction and in a certain order. Because for one, it makes it more neat. And for two, it helps us remember it. 记得, right? Helps us, those are the two reasons it's so important to learn the order of how to write a character. Helps us be more neat and helps us remember it. Okay, so let's start. Oh, 对不起. Let's start. So remember, top to bottom, left to right. Can you see it? Oh no. There's a bad glare. So we go top to bottom, left to right. Top to bottom, left to right. Okay, let's write it. I'll write it in 蓝色好。你们可以看看我好。So top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom. So when we draw a square, you know, most of us, we pick up our pen every time that we get to a corner. But when we are writing squares or rectangles in some Chinese characters, we always keep the right corner with our pen down. We always do that in one stroke. So when you look at that, you think, oh, there's 3 strokes. No, there's 1, 2 strokes. 明白了吗? Understand? 太好了，明白了，看看我。Top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, or left to right, top to bottom. 这是只。这是只。1、2、3。3 parts to it. It looks very complicated. It's very big, right? It is a harder character. Okay? 这是猪. I should have left more room between them, huh? They're going to run together. 好，你们看看, do you see anything similar between these two characters? 太好了, the very beginning is the same. 这是虫. I'll write it. 这是虫. This is what we call a radical. And every Chinese character has a radical. And a radical helps us understand what that word might mean if we've never seen that word or character before. So this is a character in itself. A radical is its own character. But we build. Chinese characters build on themselves. So once you learn some basics, you'll be able to pick up Chinese pretty quickly once you know the basics. And that's because of radicals. Okay, so this is chong. Chong means insect. Insect. A spider is an insect. 对了? 对, 好. So we see insect. So we know this is an insect, but we don't know what insect. So if this is in a sentence and you read the first sentence of the Itsy Bitsy Spider, you say, oh, one small insect of some sort climbs up the water spout. Spider. Okay, so you don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what it is. So you can go and look up spider in the dictionary, Google Translate it, ask a friend. Okay, so that the radicals are really good tools that I want you guys to know about and remember. Okay? 好吧. 我们都写. Get a piece of paper and let's write together. 一 top to bottom. 一二三四五六七八九十11 12 13 14 14 strokes. 好，太难，很难。好，猪1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12，这是很难。蜘蛛，太棒了！好 ，Now we're done with the hardest one. The rest are easier. 现在我们写第二个是爬上是什么？你知道？太好了 ，to climb up, right? 太好了，你们可以看看我。好 ，left to right, top to bottom, top to bottom, left to right. Oh, there's that corner of a box. And when we have a box and characters, we do everything inside of the box, and then we close the box. So there's a line. Now we're done, so we can close it all the way. 这是爬上是很容易。好 ，top to bottom, left to right, left to right. 这是爬上 to climb. OK， 我们都写好。1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8，对不起吧1 2 3 好，太好了，这是爬上。第三个。下雨是什么？对了 ，rain， 下雨。可是我们唱歌，我们说雨下。对了，好。可是 we're just gonna go over rain with writing because this one is more common to use in our writing. Okay， 下雨很容易 ，left to right。Top to bottom, left to right. 太好了，雨很容易，也很容易。很容易。下 means down or below. And so the way we can remember this, when we see this character, that's the meaning, is this is the ground. And this person with one arm is below the ground, right? And shàng, 你记得 shàng? You remember shàng? Oh, 对不起 wrote 下。这是 shàng. It's the opposite, right? It's just flipped. So the person is above the ground with one arm. Shàng means up or above. 好，下 means below or down. So the person is below the ground with one arm there. So you can make little stories with your characters, and that'll help you remember it. And it kind of looks like a window, right? With some rain. You can make up so many stories. Okay, 我们都写好。1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8。第四个是 水管，水管是什么？对了，是 water pipe。太好了，太好了。可是我们看看。Before we move on, we have one more grammar rule. Last one of our lesson. So when we have two third tones, 看看 two third tones, they can be written. That is right. The deep third tone. 水管 We write it that way. 对了，好。可是我们说 if we speak it, we have to change the first third tone to a rising second tone. 好 So 水管下对了，水管说对了，太好了。好 Another example is when we say 你好对了，好，你好是你好，你好。可是我们说 if we want to sound like a native, then we need to say 你好. If you say 你好 to someone, they hear you say that, then they know you don't know this at maybe perhaps a native level, and that's okay. But if you say 你好, they'll be very impressed, and they will think, oh, they might know this at a native level. And the more you speak, they'll find out. Okay, so 怎么说？水管不对，水管太好了，好，看看我。Make a hook. We put a hook in the water when we go fishing, right? Okay, 这是一个 stroke. We give the hook wings. 这是二 strokes. 好，一二 We pick up our pen on the right side, but not the left. 这是水管是 two K's at the top. 点这是中文点 This is a Chinese dot, a little tiny line. Now we make like a sideways hook. When we put a line, it looks like a sideways J with some points to it. Top to bottom. Now we add some boxes. There's nothing inside, so we create the box and close it up right away. And then a little bit bigger box. 好，这是管，水管。好吧，我们都写。1、2、3、4。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14。我有一个4。好。Last one 是太阳是什么？你知道？你记得吗？记得了，好，太好了 ，sun。好吧，好，你们可以看看我，很容易 ，left to right, top to bottom, left to right, left to right。好，这是大，big。This is the radical of 太。Right, the sun is big. 对了，好吧，这是阳。First stroke is kind of like a 3, but we make the top of the 3 flat. Can we do that? That's one stroke, and then we do one line down and kind of make it look like a funny B, right? Top to bottom. Now this is our first rectangle instead of square. So we do the same thing. We make that top right corner is one stroke together. But we have something inside, so we do that first, and then we close it. 这是太阳，这是 sun。好，我们都写1、2、3、4、 这是太好。3、4、5、6，你们很聪明，很聪明。我们来唱，再来一次。好，你们可以看看，还是可以看看。我们唱歌很慢，很慢，很慢。好吧，好。一只小蜘蛛爬上了水管，雨下来把蜘蛛掉消除。太阳出来把雨在干了河，这只小蜘蛛在爬上水管。太好了，再来一次，再来一次，很快。好吧，准备好了吗？准备好了。一只小蜘蛛爬上了水管，雨下来把蜘蛛掉消除。太阳出来把雨在干了河，这只小蜘蛛在爬上水管。哦，很难很难，太好了，谢谢，再见。